The Senate decision followed a motion sponsored by Bala Naala during the Wednesday plenary. Rising under orders 42 and 52 of the Senate standing rules, Naala noted with dismay the loss of about 250 billion naira on agro export of produce in the country. According to the lawmaker, the loss impacts negatively on the country's economy. The Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved the right to 14-day paternity leave for male federal civil servants to allow them to bond with their infants. This was disclosed to State House correspondents on Wednesday by the head of service of the Federation, Folashade Yemieson, after the week's virtual FEC meeting presided over by Yemi Osinbajo at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. She said this is to enable proper bonding between the father and the newborn, either natural born or adopted, especially at the early ages of the child's life. Yemieson further explained that fathers of adopted babies of less than 4 months will also enjoy this gesture. The Federal High Court in Abuja has barred the federal government from retrying the former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzor Kalu, on the 7.1 billion naira money laundering charge the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission earlier preferred against him. In a judgment delivered by Justice Iyan Ikwu, the court held that the Supreme Court did not, in the verdict it gave on May 8, 2020, order the retrial of either Kalu or his firm, Slock Nigeria Limited. Justice Ikwu held that the Supreme Court only ordered the retrial of former Director of Finance in Abia State, Jones Udogu, who was the appellant before it. Consequently, Justice Ikwu upheld the suit that Kalu filed to challenge the legal propriety of his planned rearrangement by the EFCC. In the application filed through his lawyers, led by Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Awa Kalu, the former governor argued that allowing the EFCC to try him afresh on the charge and the same facts upon which he was earlier convicted and sentenced on December 5th, 2019 would occasion him to suffer a double jeopardy. Giving reasons why his trial should not commence afresh, Kalu said he was convicted and sentenced by Justice Mohammed Idris of the Federal High Court in Lagos with respect to the charge against him. Justice Idris had sentenced Kalu to 12 years imprisonment in his judgment delivered on December 5th, 2019. However, the Supreme Court nullified the judgment in May 2020 following an appeal by Kalu. Kalu, who was governor of Abia State from 1999 to 2007, is currently the chief whip of the Senate. Health workers under the aegis of Joint Health Sector Unions, JUHESU, and Assembly of Healthcare Professional Associations, AHPA, say they would withdraw their services from all federal health institutions as from September 30th, 2021, after the expiration of her 15-day ultimatum. National Chairman of JUHESU, Biobelemoye Josiah, in a statement urged the federal government to act on its 15-day ultimatum issued on September 17th, 2021, to avoid total shutdown of healthcare system in the country. Governor of Anambra State, Willie Obiano, has placed a 20 million naira bounty on the perpetrators of the gruesome killing of Dr. Chike Akunyili, the husband of the late former Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, Dora Akunyili, and others in the state. The governor said the sum will be awarded to anyone who is able to provide useful information to track the killers. He said this in a special broadcast after an emergency State Security Council meeting at the Governor's Lodge in Amobia on Wednesday, while condoling with the Akunyili family as well as families of others who were killed in the attack. Governor Obiano condemned the attack, calling on residents to join forces with security agencies to confront the common enemy and protect the state. Speaking further, he lamented that between Sunday, September 26th to date, over 10 persons have been killed in various areas of the state. Dr. Chike Akunyili was killed by the gunmen on Tuesday alongside his driver and a police escort around Mpo Junction in Idemili, North Anambra State. He was said to have been returning from an event where he received a posthumous award of excellence for his late wife when he ran into the hoodlums at Mpo and was murdered in cold blood. Meanwhile, the police have visited the scene as investigations into the incident and several other recent killings are now ongoing. Coming up in a moment on our business news, CBN places 1 million naira limit on e-naira single transactions. Details shortly after this break. Stay with us, please.
1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 600 billion, and the last kobo. Oh yes, we follow the money. It's all about the business and the business of business. The gains and the losses. The bulls and bears. The rise and falls. The risk and the satisfaction of seeing the last kobo rise to millions. On KUFM's Business News, the simple and complex jargons of business just make sense. Get the trending news on the morning market, forecast, investment opportunities, policy changes, and other breakout information on the ever-busy world of business. KU Business News, Monday to Friday on our news dawn, 6:30 to 7 a.m.
Welcome back. You're still on to News Dawn on 92.7 KUFM Benin City, and over now to business, where the central bank guideline on the usage of the digital currency indicates that merchants are barred from exceeding 1 million naira deals on e-naira transactions. This is part of the operating model and prototype design of the payment platform due to take off on Friday, 1st October. While the 1 million naira ceiling is placed on sending and receiving money per transaction on the e-naira, there is no limit to the amount merchants can sweep to their bank accounts. The regulator is, however, working out the final transaction costs for digital currency users. The project giants unveiled by the CBN to banks set limits for e-naira transactions to be conducted by digital currency users with banks and merchants. According to the CBN presentation, Tier 1 consumers with no existing bank accounts are to conduct daily transactions, sending and receiving limits of 50,000 naira each and cumulative daily balance of 300,000 naira. For Tier 2 consumers, those operating bank accounts, the CBN pegged daily transactions for sending and receiving at 200,000 naira each with 500,000 naira cumulative balance. The CBN pegged daily transaction for sending and receiving for Tier 3 consumers with existing accounts at 1 million naira each and cumulative daily balance at 5 million naira. CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele had listed the benefits of the central bank digital currency to include increased cross-border trade, accelerated financial inclusion, cheaper and faster remittance inflows, easier targeted social interventions, as well as improvements in monetary policy effectiveness, payment systems efficiency, and tax collection. And that's it on business. Over now to sports, where Cristiano Ronaldo scored an injury time winner as Man United beat Villarreal. Chijendo has got details in our sports bulletin this morning. Stay with us, please.
Thank you, Charles. Cristiano Ronaldo scored an injury time winner as Manchester United came from behind to beat Villarreal in an action-packed Champions League Group F contest. The repeat of last season's Europa League final, which the Spanish side won on penalties, looked to be heading for a draw after another disappointing United performance. But summer signing Ronaldo struck home from Jesse Lingard's layoff to spark jubilant scenes at the Old Trafford. Villarreal broke the deadlock at the start of the second half as Danjuma got in behind and pulled the ball back for Alcácer to convert from close range. United were finding it difficult to make serious attacking threats, but equalized through Alex Telles' moments of genius as he smashed a first-time volley from 20 yards into the bottom corner. Ronaldo's winner means Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side picked up their first win, while in the group's other tie, Atalanta beat Young Boys 1-0 to go top of the table. Elsewhere, Kelechi Iheanacho has been ruled out of Leicester's Europa League Group C trip to Legia Warsaw because of an issue with his travel documents. The striker travelled with his team to Poland, but the problem with his paperwork meant he was not allowed into the country. Defender Johnny Evans is again missing out because of a foot injury. The 33-year-old defender has played less than 170 minutes in total this season, although he was on the bench for Saturday's 2-2 Premier League draw with Burnley. Midfielder Wilfred Ndidi misses the game through suspension, having been sent off in their opening group match, a 2-2 draw at home to Napoli. And that's it here from our sports desk. Many thanks for joining us, and I'll hand you back to Charles Saporan for a wrap-up of the news. Stay tuned.
Thank you very much, Indo, for those sports stories. And of course, with those stories, we come to the end of our package this morning. But before we leave, a quick recap of the headlines. President Buhari has dropped Engineer Awalu as CEO nominee for NMDPRA. The Senate has told President Buhari to declare bandits as terrorists. And the Federal Executive Council has approved 14-day paternity leave. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. KUFM News Dawn was produced by Lebedum Asagwaram. I am Charles Operum saying thanks for listening and good morning.